I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Bosses, where we help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. So, my voice sounds like this because I'm a little bit under the weather. Too many climate changes and too many places, too many environments, too many weather changes, but I'm here. As the old folks used to say, I'm here in Jesus' name. So, as you can tell, I'm back in my big black chair, and I am first off wanted to be thankful for everywhere I went. If you're following me, and I met you on my anniversary tour, I'm back home, safe and sound, and all that good stuff. And God bless us all the way everywhere we went. So I'm super excited. So I left my house on April 13th. Yes, I had people who watch my house, get my mail in. Boxes were not everywhere, but in my living room. And because God has provided me a village to take care of when my house when I'm out of town. So I'm thankful for that. And we left April 13th, headed to Richmond, Virginia first. Then from Richmond, Virginia, we headed to Seattle, Washington, and we were there for a week in Seattle. And big shout out to my cousins, all my cousins, but especially Benjamin Davis, who coordinated all of that and made that happen, and really was the liaison to get me out there. And then from there, even one of his sisters says, I'm seeing you here. It has Benji all over. I said, oh yeah, Ben was my connect and y'all's secret weapon to get me all the way here. So shout out to Rising Star Elementary and Martin Luther King Elementary in Seattle. And I know there's Martin Luther King elementaries everywhere, but specifically to the ones in Seattle. So super excited about the two schools there. Met some incredible staff, principals, and young people. It was a wonderful thing. And then from there, we went to Anchorage, Alaska. And so that was culture shock, new environment. It wasn't as cold as I was thinking it would be, but the scenery was incredible. And if you haven't seen on my social media pages, be sure and look there. Then from Anchorage, came back to the East Coast, so that's the reason why I sound like I sound. Um, and then we were in Roanoke, Virginia. Special shout out to again to Apostle Melissa Johnson and the New Harvest Family Worship Center there in Roanoke, Virginia. And special shout out to my bestie, Elder Kimberly Bolden, who is the best and the best, and a prayer warrior, and my ministry sister. You in a powerful service when I'm running, and I don't run. I don't run. And when I'm shouting and running for like 3 or 4 days, I said I have to leave Roanoke now. I must get out now. So I came back home, and ta-da, I'm in southern Indiana, the Ohio Valley, and yuck. So as you can tell, I've been fighting it, but God's gonna bring me through this. I've had these kind of allergies and stuff all my life. So first off, let me jump right in. First off, happy Mother's Day. Now, normally on Mother's Day, I have my mother-in-law and I have my mother with me, but they have lives, child. They got assignments. My mother told me I'm gonna be do this on Saturday, and this one's gonna take me out, and I'm gonna be with your sister on Sunday. And I said, well, where am I fitting in? So I took Monday. So Mother's Day, don't worry, I've seen her. We've been together. We've hung out, but Monday's my time. So she's busy all day today. So. So she told me, but you'll be able to hear them on my Envision show. My mother-in-law, Miss Lily Royston, and my mother, Dr. Daisy Forey. You'll be able to hear them on Envision. So don't worry, you're not gonna miss out on them. So tune in to Live Your Best Life, envision-radio.com. And also, speaking of Mother's Day, there's a special presentation I have with the Fab Five. That's coming up. If you missed the 7 a.m., it's coming up again at 4 p.m. on envision-radio.com, where we're talking about mothers, a mother's chat. And Karen Brown, Cassandra Lanier, Elgina Smith, as well as Miss Marquise Watson, we're all talking. So it aired at 7 a.m. this morning, Eastern Standard, and it comes back on again at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So enjoy that. These are I'm the outsider. I'm just asking about motherhood. I'm not a biological mother. I'm that auntie who you call. I'm that a buddy or a godmother that you call. I never did have any biological children of my own. But people can still wish me a happy Mother's Day. I have no problem. I've raised thousands, honestly. As a teacher, anybody who's ever taught know that you've raised thousands. So the Mother's Chat comes up on envision-radio.com, where Praise Meets Talk at 4 p.m. So listen all day. Just tune in. Once you come out of church, put it back on. Download the app on Google Play, and then the Android app. And then listen on your phone. You can listen on the website on your mobile device, envision-radio.com, where Praise Meets Talk. There'll be shout outs for Mother's Day all day long, a specialty. And be sure to visit the Royston Royal Bookstore for my free download of the To Mom with Love, a mother's anthology. It's a free download. So you just click on the book cover and it's free for you today. So see shout outs and tributes to mothers, and take those to heart. Take those inside you too as well. So I wanted to talk about today, as I'm getting older, y'all know, let's see, today, as of this airing, is May 14th. I will be 60 May 29th. Yay! That's 15 days. So one of the things about getting older, and my mother getting older, and honey, she's then got spicier and sassier. And one day when I get old enough, I'm going to be able to say whatever I want to say. People say I'm doing it now, but I don't know. My mama's taking it to a whole nother level. So one thing I can truthfully say, number one, with my mom, is that she was promises kept. It was all about if she could keep a promise, she was keeping it. And I'll talk about 10 things that I learned from my mother. Shameless plug on Live Your Best Life on envision-radio.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for the whole top 10. But my mother was all about promises kept. So at my age, it's time for me to keep some promises. I promised my mom I'd be home by Mother's Day, and I am. I wanted to be able to honor her in any way, shape, or form all weekend, the rest of the month, and with my life every day. But it's promises kept. So sometimes, as you see, we've always pulled on our mothers. Oh, and Mama, I need, and Mama, pray, and Mama, can you, and Mama, would you, and pick them up. So sometimes it's time for us to keep some promises. Sometimes it's time for us to do the reverse, and we're her baby for life. Number two, we're her baby for life. But sometimes the roles may reverse. It's time for me to be looking out for my mom. It's time for me to call every day and check on her. I call every single solitary day. Even when I was in Alaska, 4 hours time difference. When I was in Seattle, 3 hours time difference. That's my commitment. That's my promise, to check on my mom. So on this Mother's Day, what are your roles? And I realize, and my heart goes out to those whose mothers are in heaven. I totally get that. But there are still some promises that you made your mom and you made to God that you still need to keep. You're still her baby. You still look like her. You may look like your dad. There's still things, because I look most like my dad. But I have a lot of my mother in me. I'm a lot like my mother, even though I look exactly like my father. So, there are some roles that may reverse. So now I know that I need to jump in, step in. We have to look out for her. So as she looked out for us and was only a phone call away and pick us up from school, and oh, I forgot my paper, and where's my cupcakes, and oh, the field trip was Friday, we forgot to tell you. Can you come over and sign my permission slip? I mean, always there. But it's now our turn to do the roles may reverse. So think about that. Your mom's strong, your mom's, if they're still alive, the roles may reverse. Now you have to not only think for them, allow them to be independent, but the roles may reverse. Now, I also was thinking about, when I was thinking about mothers, I was thinking about Jesus and his relationship to his mother. Because remember, Jesus was a promised child and Mary was highly favored among women. But she recognized who he was, even though we don't have a lot of details about from after they left Jesus in this and found Jesus in the synagogue after they went to pay taxes. Remember, they left him. They forgot where he was and where was he at. Oh my gosh, we left him 3 days. Had to go back and get him. So between 12 and because we only have like for 18 years, we don't really have too much of what was going on with Jesus. But when it was time, I'm quite sure his mother saw some things and understood who he was a little bit. Because remember when they went to the big wedding and they ran out of wine? Sometimes your mama will call on you before you're ready. Sometimes they call and they can see things that you can't see. So understand, on this Mother's Day, remember, sometimes before you were ready, you know how they had you when you was little, and they would say, "Oh, Julia's gonna sing." I am. Why am I gonna sing? Why they can't? Or she's gonna do that, and they would volunteer you for all kinds of things. But before you were ready, but they saw something in you that you sometimes didn't see in yourself. So always remember that. Sometimes they can see the gifts inside of you. I know my parents did. When I was 8 and I sang first solo, it was all about music. It was like, oh, okay, we finally get her gift. Her feet was doing stuff. I had speech impediment. I had thick glasses. Woo, it was a lot. My ears was still doing stuff, and they still doing stuff. But they saw it in me, and they were like, this is her thing. They saw the gift in me. So sometimes in life, as you're going along, when you're reflecting, go back and remember some of that stuff they pointed out and saw and said. Now, some of it's legit, some of it is real. Now, in my case, my parents were not living vicariously through me. They had their own life, but they could tell, they could see the gift that's down inside of them. It was the spirit that was in them that could see the giftings and the callings that were down inside of you. It wasn't without struggle. It wasn't without difficulty. It wasn't without disappointment. It wasn't without jealousy. It wasn't without problems that came up. But sometimes they could see it before you were ready. Now you're ready. Walk into it. Do what they saw, especially if it aligns with God's gifting and talents and his call and plan for his life, for your life. Because sometimes they can see things afar off, just like John saw Jesus. Behold, the Lamb of God. Behold, the gifted singer. Behold, the girl with administrative gifts. Behold, the book writer. Behold, the loving person, the giving person, the person who can get the job done, the dependable one, the one with character and integrity, the one that you can count on, the one you can call anytime, day or night, before you're ready sometimes. But walk in those gifts and talents and abilities that your mother saw, that you have, those characteristics that you have from your mother. Those are great memories. Those are great opportunities for you to live out, so that when you do see God, and when you do get to heaven, you died empty. You did all that you could do. And then next, Jesus, when he was on the cross, he said, "Now, you boys take care of my mama, because I'm getting ready to die." So sometimes that goes back to the roles being reversed. Sometimes it's time for you to make sure that your mother's taken care of, because why? She's your mama to the end. You're her baby for life. She's your mama to the end. My grandmother passed away at 104, and she did not pass away. She was in that middle stage of transitioning, and she didn't fully transition until she heard the voice of all her living children telling her that they loved her and that she was free to go on and pass on. And then she passed shortly thereafter. So she's your mother till the end, but you got to take care of her because she took care of you. And even if she didn't, honor your mother and your father so that your days may be long upon the earth. Figure out what that looks like and what that is going to be like. Determine what that relationship should be like so that you can live in peace and harmony. I wish above all that they prosper and be in good health, even as your soul, your will, your mind, and emotions prospers. Find that balance and be blessed on this Mother's Day. I hope that blesses you and encourages you today. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. All my contact information is at Julia A.K. Royston. There's even a free download, free giveaway there. My calendar, if you wish to have a conversation, is at talkwithroyston.com. That's my calendar, schedule appointment, free consultation if you're interested in publishing and writing, or we just need to have a conversation as to where you are, and we'll move forward from there. So talkwithroyston.com. Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, again, is Live Your Best Life with your host, yours truly, on envision-radio.com. You can listen on these additional apps besides the Envision Radio Android app. You can listen, of course, on the station, envision-radio.com, radio.net, radio.garden, Alexa, Get Me Radio, Roku, Media U, MyTuner Radio, Audacity, and tuner.co, as well as where podcasts are heard. So be sure and listen in, Live Your Best Life. Today is the Mother's Day special at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's a Mother's Day chat with the Fab Five, Karen Brown, Cassandra Lanier, Elgina Smith, and Marquise Watson. So be sure and tune in all day to envision-radio.com, where praise meets talk 24/7. At 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And then Tuesdays, we're still on the publishing journey, talking about the publishing avenues and outlets. In this season, I've been in business more than 15 years. I celebrated 15 years in February. So the Book Business Boss Show is pouring out and imparting what I've learned over the last 15 years, which is a lot. Mistakes and all, the good, bad, and the ugly. 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on envision-radio.com. And the replays are at bookbusinessbosspodcast.com. And then what's coming up next? So on June 10th, and I'll be reminding you, so you don't have to worry about it. I missed it. I've been warning you, but I'm going to continue to warn you and tell you even more. But coming up on June 10th, I am having the BK Royston Publishing Virtual Summit, preparing for what's next. It's June 10th, 2023 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, preparing for what's next, whether you're in business, whether you have a book, whether you have a nonprofit, whether you're in ministry. We're going to be talking about branding. We're going to be talking about self-care. We're going to be talking about getting sponsorships. We're going to be talking about taking inventory of where you are and then positioning of where you need to be and how you're going to get there. I have some phenomenal guests that are with me, the brand strategist, Mr. Barry Barnes, and self-care strategist is going to be helping us with that. Overseer Roz Jones, as well as Mr. Daryl Harvey of the Black Child Book Fair Tour. And you know that I have been on the tour now for, I guess, 3 years now. And the Black Child Book Fair Tour has been an incredible opportunity, media attention, as well as we have now been able to garner sponsorships. So how do you get a sponsor? What does that look like? You have a nonprofit, you have a ministry, but what makes you sponsorable, if that's a word? What makes people want to sponsor you? How can you position yourself and have yourself in position that somebody be willing to sponsor you? What are the key elements that you need to seek a sponsorship? Now, every individual organization is different. Every brand is different. And so therefore, every church is different. Every nonprofit is different. Every book is different. That's the reason why I run my business totally different than everyone else, because it's customized. every cover, every interior, every message, every messenger, every opportunity, every motivation that every messenger has or the author has will determine how far you go. Some people are not willing to do it. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to do it. But then there are others who want to go all the way. So let's get started. It is June 10th, so it's the beginning of third quarter. You want to be positioned and ready for fourth quarter and beyond into 2024 if the Lord hadn't returned and the world still stands. So join us. Put that on your calendar, put that on your list. Bookbusinessbosstraining.com, June 10th, 2023. It's on a Saturday, so you don't have to worry about late at night. It's early in the day. I made it at 11 so you can sleep a little later, but get up, get your pen, get your paper, get your journal, get your calendar, and let's do some work. So we'll be ready and position ourselves for what's coming next. We don't know everything that's coming next, but at least we can be prepared, have some strategies in place to prepare for what's next. To register, go to the bookbusinessbosstraining.com. That's the bookbusinessbosstraining.com. Comments. Good morning. Good morning. There he is. Good morning. There's my cousin. He's out there. He's up early. He's up early. Yay. Benjamin Davis. So he is a preacher. He is a husband. He is a brother. He is a leader. He's a librarian by trade. And so that's the reason why we're really that connected, but we're really highly connected in the spirit realm. And looking forward to doing some phenomenal things, even more in the great Northwest. And I have to build up my immune system so I can handle all the climate changes. But we're well on our way to back to full health and all that good stuff. I'm not worried about it at all. So you all be blessed. Thank you, love. Happy Mother's Day to everyone again. Be sure and take care of your mamas and look out for them, love on them, and be thankful that you still have them, because I know that there are plenty of people out there who wish that their mother was still alive, but she's alive, still working through you. You all be blessed in all that you say and do. Have a phenomenal rest of the day and week. And my goal and my wish and prayer for you always is that you live your best life. I'm Dr. Julia Royson. Have a great day. Bye-bye.